Now I'm going to include something extra in tomorrow's webinar, and that's what I want to talk about today. And that is how to work with the hands and feet. Now, along with this gentle motion of the jaw in holographic breathing, there's a corresponding movement of the hands and feet, opening and closing. And I'll be teaching that in the webinar, how to work with that, how it works, how to balance it so it works balanced through the whole body, through the back of the body, the front of the body, how it opens through all of the diaphragms, the joints, and through the brain. The way when I teach this movement of the jaw, this gentle motion of the breath feels very similar to cranial sacral therapy descends through the body. Then if while we're doing that we work with this movement of the hands and feet, that works the other way. It joins to that motion but rises through the body to the main point. We're going to be working with the feet and it rising through the legs, rising through the pelvis, the spine, and up through the brain and head and to the higher self. The movement of the jaw is more spiritual. It opens up through the whole face, cranium, brain, neck, gives you this strong connection to the higher self and descends. The feet are more grounded, the hands are a bit higher, but the feet are very grounded, connecting to the rhythms of the earth and the earth energies, and it's very much to do with the bones, the joints, the diaphragms, the muscles through the whole body, the balance, the physical balance and integrity of the body. And in holographic breathing, it's a whole breath, and this amplifies it, the more physical side, starting from the earth and rising through us. It gives a good connection to the earth, but it also starts balancing the legs, because it's opening and closing with every breath. So it's balancing the ankles, balancing the knees, balancing the hips through the whole pelvis, through the pelvic floor. Anything that's out of balance there, it starts opening up through it. If there's a tight muscle or muscle that's in spasm, it starts that breathing. It may get a little bit more painful because it's kind of stuck, it's not breathing. If it's tight, it's not breathing, and it maybe gets tighter before it starts breathing, but at a certain point that tight muscle suddenly gives and it starts breathing. So any tensions, any tight muscles in the pelvis start breathing, and then it all balances around. And there's a way working with the feet to really get into the back of the body where the breath is orientated from. We're normally much more in the front of the body. Oh, it's the lungs that breathe. Oh, it's the abdomen breathe, but the spine breathes. There's this deeper breath orientating from the pelvis, the back of the body, and it expands forwards into the more lungs and abdomen breathing. But it will slow you, it will bring you into a new type of breath, much more profound breath, more total body breath. And it's slower. Without trying, I've got my normal resting breath, but without trying to do it longer or counting or anything like that, I drop down to about 3 breaths a minute. Just, that is with ease, not even trying. It's just that is a comfortable rate when it's opening up through the body, and it works all of the muscles either side of the spine. The spine starts straightening. It's a, it really drops into this physical motion of the breath, and it works, it clears the thyroid, it clears all of the organs as it works through the spine. And then in the brain, you know, there is the physical motion of the cranium and face, which is coming from the muscles of the breath around the whole face and brain, breathing it, which creates a motion of the whole skull and cranium, which creates a motion of the brain. But conversely, within the brain, every cell has its own internal musculature, and this breathing connects you to that in the brain. The breathing motion of every cell. It's like gym for your brain cells. Brain gym. Brain Fred. Brain Graham. It's brain gym. Now I've done it. It's brain gym for your brain. Every cell breathing. And the cells in the brain, they're not stuck together like the cells in the body. They've got tentacles, and there's in this sea, so they breathe easily. And because the sea contains all of the oxygen, the glucose, the sodium, everything they need, so they're absorbing and breathing that, and they're clearing toxins, letting go. So it really brings a health to the brain and everything. So there's this very physical orientation of the breath from the feet in holographic breathing, physical integrity through the body, injuries, aches, pains, imbalances, hernias, diaphragmatic things, ligaments, tendons, all of this. It starts breathing all of them. They start adjusting, they start balancing. I had a hernia, hiatus hernia, since I was about, I don't know, 20, something like that. And from lifting heavy stones, being a stone worker. Maybe that, or maybe yoga. I think it might have been yoga actually, because I didn't know how to do yoga. I had a full stomach. I started pumping my stomach with it, and I felt something go then. But it's also lifting these great big heavy stones that goes right through a whole wall. But anyway, I got that. My spine went out, my stomach went out, and everything. And with this movement from the feet, when you learn how it gets into the back of the body, it starts balancing. And I always had a tight muscle from the spine in the middle, right under the shoulder blades, right round into the kind of this V here, and the stomach area. And this breathing motion just got into that because it will give you a deep diaphragmatic breath. It really gets the diaphragm working, all the diaphragms, it's all of the diaphragms working with every breath. And this tight muscle just suddenly, that's not really there anymore. It's getting less and less and disappeared. And then whatever the upset was in the stomach, there's a lot of emotional stuff there from childhood. It felt also right into the lining of the stomach. It felt it had something to do with the pancreas. But I just feel the whole lining of the stomach. I could feel this that it normally comes out in the stomach, just working through and working through. So as a physical integrity, this is a brilliant thing to learn. This is a series, but you can do, I've made it so that this particular webinar, well, you can always do it as a one-off, but especially for this webinar, you can just learn the basics, that how to do it, how to balance it, how to get it moving through the body, how to drop into the back, how to get the diaphragms to move, how it breathes the whole body. So you can learn that. Then what there will be in the future is I will run a series of 4 where we also look at the different energies in the hands and feet, what the points are. And that's not reflexology, it's how they relate to in holographic breathing, where the deep earth energies are in hands and feet, where the fire energies are, the yellow energies, the lung circuit, the blue energy circuit, the higher circuit in brain, where they are in the hands and feet, how to breathe with the hands and feet to connect to those circuits. And with the webinar tomorrow, because it is the blue energies webinar, be showing you the parts of the hands and feet that connect to the adrenals, the kidneys, the bladder, the penis, vagina and urethra, and how you can cleanse those energies. It's a very pertinent webinar for these times, the blue energies, because it includes the kidneys and adrenals, which have, you know, so many people are in burnout, so many people under the surface are scared at the minute. You know, everything has changed in the last few years. It's for me anyway, it's clear governments aren't really running the show. You know, big business, pharmaceutical companies seem to be running everything. This whole thing that happened with COVID, I mean, I'm not even going to go into that. I know some people come down on both sides, but that's going to be kind of a rant if I go into that. So I'm not going to do that, but come to that webinar. I'll leave a link below so you can register for that webinar. On the last page of my website, that there will also be recordings of that. If you can't make it, you can get the recordings. It would be, yeah, you can get the recordings, yeah. But on the last page of my website, there are the recordings of 33, not 33, 33 with an F. Webinars. Free of charge, showing different dynamics of holographic breathing. Go to those. Learn holographic breathing, for God's sake. It's the best. Well, I don't know, I want to show it. It's pretty good anyway. May change your life. That's free of charge. I mean, you can't ask much more than that. You can learn holographic breathing on every one of those webinars. They are there. I will leave a link to those, or conversely, just go to the back of my YouTube channel where all the things are. They're all there. Well, most of them are there as well. There's more on my website, but you can just go to my channel, look through. There's webinars, recorded webinars, which are tutorials and guided meditations. There's lectures, which are lectures. This is a lecture. I'm not giving you a recorded, not giving you a guided meditation, so this is a lecture. But there are channels. When I speak, channels are coming in when I'm talking about holographic being. The energies that I work with in holographic just come through, so you're getting that whether you like it or not. So if you've got insomnia, you know, people keep saying I can't sleep. If you've got insomnia, just do holographic breathing. Put one of my webinars on in the background. People who are trying to stay awake in the webinars fall asleep. So if you just put one of those on, have it in the background, do holographic breathing, you'll sleep. Don't have to take pills, don't need expensive courses. Just listen to one of my webinars, have it on in the background, do holographic breathing, go to sleep. All right, that's it for today. Thank you for listening.